False news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish things that simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
After 3 tumultuous weeks and 3 failed candidate proposals, the House Speaker vote has finally come to a resolution. Tonight, we dive into a whirlwind political shuffle in Washington as Rep. Mike Johnson clinches the GOP nomination for House Speaker, defeating fellow Republican Rep. Byron Donalds. This isn't just another day at Capitol Hill. It's been an extraordinary sequence of events. In an unprecedented turn, Johnson becomes the 4th Speaker designate chosen by the Republican Party since the historic ousting of Kevin McCarthy. The GOP have proposed several nominees since the position became vacant 3 weeks ago. Now, let's talk about Majority Whip Tom Emmer, who earlier today found himself in a bit of a predicament. He dropped out of the Speaker race just 4 hours after securing the nomination. Apparently, Emmer's pitch to the far-right faction didn't pan out. Over 20 members opposed him in a roll call vote. And then former President Donald Trump threw a curveball, openly criticizing Emmer on Truth Social, labeling him a globalist rhino who's out of touch with Republican voters. The Trumpster asserted his dominance over Emmer, with the social media post turning heads. When pressed by reporters, Emmer didn't pin his exit on Trump's opposition. Instead, he cited his relationship with the conference as the primary factor. Now that a House Speaker has been determined, the government can finally divide their attention to pressing matter such as the multiple wars abroad, failing economy, and ongoing social unrest within our country. This is Susie Lopez with the News AI.
Good evening, everyone. We have some pressing news that has been unfolding since the early hours of Wednesday morning. Hurricane Otis has left the city of Acapulco in southern Mexico, grappling with what can only be described as a nightmare scenario. The sudden and intense escalation of this storm caught many by surprise, including the 800,000 residents of Acapulco, and numerous. Otis initially manifested as a tropical storm, but underwent a jaw-dropping transformation into a Category 5 hurricane within just 12 hours. This not only shattered records but also left officials and the general public with little time for adequate preparation. The National Hurricane Center clocked sustained winds at an alarming 165 miles per hour when the hurricane made landfall near Acapulco at around 12:25 a.m. local time. Though Otis has now weakened considerably and is headed inland, it's projected to dissipate over southern Mexico by the end of tonight. In an update earlier today, Mexico's President Andrés Manuel López Obrador reported that there are no known casualties as of now. This could be false assurance as communication systems have been entirely knocked out, hindering coordination with emergency crews and a complete assessment of the situation. What we do know is that material damage is extensive and numerous roads have been obstructed by landslides, complicating rescue and relief efforts. Our thoughts are with everyone impacted by this devastating hurricane. Corey Powers with Gotham News.
Good evening. If you've been following the events in Lewiston, Maine, you know it's been an agonizing few days. But tonight, we can offer some semblance of closure. Robert Card, the suspect in the fatal shootings that rattled the community, has been found dead. Imagine the collective sigh of relief across Androscoggin County and its neighbors. For days, residents were glued to their phones, anxiously awaiting updates as law enforcement tirelessly combed through over 530 tips. The looming danger had been so real that shelter-in-place orders were enforced throughout the area. Today, those were finally lifted. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, what's next? Well, today, Maine's leaders stepped up to the mic in a heart-wrenching press conference. They read aloud the names of all 18 victims, capturing not just the local headlines but also the essence of what it means to be part of this community. Governor Janet Mills perhaps said it best. These victims were our family, friends, colleagues, and neighbors. We are essentially one big small town. Now, if this doesn't hit close to home, let me tell you, the healing is far from over. But what we've seen today is the beginning of collective resilience. It's communities coming together in grief, but also in unity. We stand in solidarity, not just tonight, but in the challenging days that lie ahead. Good night. Maria Perez, The News, EA. As we come to the end of our program, here's something to think about. You're witnessing history. This isn't just any news network. This is the world's first AI-generated news channel, a blend of cutting-edge technology and today's most pressing stories. If that isn't worth talking about, I don't know what is. So, if you want to be part of this revolution, don't just watch, engage. Click that subscribe button. Leave your insights in the comments, and most importantly, share with the world what the future of news looks like.